The following is a presentation of the Delaware Valley Arts Alliance. The activities of the Delaware Valley Arts Alliance are made possible in part through public funds from the New York State Council on the Arts, a state agency. Public funds for contracted services are also received from Sullivan County, New York. With additional support received from the River Reporter, Narrowsburg, New York.
My name is George Towne. I'm a painter living in the East Village of New York City right now. I was pretty much raised on the Delaware River, and that's why it's kind of great to be coming back to the to have this exhibition at that really great space, the Delaware Valley Arts Alliance. I've been in New York City now since I was 17. I'm 35 now. I came to the city to go to art school at School of Visual Arts, which was a great place. I have my training there, and I actually worked there as an admissions counselor for 10 years. And I do portraits primarily of gay men. That's what I've settled into. I've probably realized I was gay when I was, hit puberty or so, but it's still kind of, even though it's a lot more accepted these days, you're starting to see images on TV of openly gay people that are happy and normal and things like that, which is great as far as visibility, which you didn't see so much when I was growing up. But you'll notice that all of these men are in the same exact position, which is like a full frontal, looking, almost like a mug shot. They're standing in this position. I have everybody stand with their feet are shoulder width. Their hands are lightly touching their sides, and they're just sort of staring straight ahead, with their mouth mostly shut. I also tell them just to blank their expression, like as if they're posing for, an ID card or something, driver's license photo. I don't know why I settled in that. I suppose that throughout art, people have had these more artsy poses, like a contrapposto, like that it's called, when somebody's sort of standing on one hip. That's an Italian term, I guess. Or something more classical is what a lot of artists in the past have done. I guess I just sort of like this because you kind of can look into the person's eyes. People who look at the paintings sometimes will tell me that they detect an emotion within the subject, like that guy looks really angry, or that guy looks really sad, or that guy looks really introspective, or that guy looks afraid, or that guy looks smug and happy. And it's kind of interesting if they feel that way, because I've asked them to totally blank their face when they pose for me, and to not think of anything happy, not think of anything sad, but just to kind of look straight into the camera and pose for me. So it's also funny because I've had people look at one painting and somebody says that guy kind of looks happy, and then another person will come along and look at the same painting and say, well, that guy looks kind of sad or something. So it's kind of interesting seeing people read what they want into each image. Another thing I've kind of fallen into, maybe just from my love of classical artists such as Velázquez and Caravaggio are two of my favorite painters from the classical age, is this one-sided light source. I have all of my models pose. You'll notice in some of the paintings it might even be more so that you see this kind of raking light that goes across them. It's just something that they used to do in the classical days, and I just sort of think it's kind of a lot more interesting than a lot of the flat light you might see on contemporary artwork. I've also ended up, I've used to paint backgrounds for a lot of my portraits a long time ago, but I've kind of settled into just kind of having a very simple, like just maybe one color or a gradation color. I just sort of, I'm not sure how, I think it just makes you center in on the image more, and maybe it looks a little more contemporary. And depending on what color I choose for the background, it might warm the painting up, or it might cool it off, or I might choose a color based on that it goes with against what they're wearing and what they chose to wear to the photo shoot. I think it's kind of interesting having guys of different ages or of different styles, you know, like from a Washington politician to to like a younger guy that's a bartender, or maybe an East Village artist or a performer, or something like that. It's interesting seeing the variety of the types of people. I really do put a lot into these paintings. I think I mean, I'm a very slow painter. I know I have a lot of friends who are painters who can really bang out a painting, or maybe they're just more focused than I am, but I will spend often weeks on a painting just to get it right. So each one of these is, if you might like I said, I do use like a loose brush stroke, but it doesn't mean it doesn't take me a long time to do each one. I really sort of like the, when I'm alone painting, I'm definitely like the tortured artist type, constantly doubting myself and maybe getting depressed if it isn't looking exactly the way I was kind of hoping it would look. But I guess the, as terrible as some of the process might be with some of it, it's equaled only because when you do finish a painting that you're really proud of, the joy you end up getting from feeling good about something, even if you like something and nobody else sort of sees it. It's just a personal happiness that you get from doing something you love.